Hey everybody, this is Wilita or our Queens. I understand it's been quite a while since I have done a live video or even done a gaming stream. Um, Now I will say one reason is because I am currently not working at the moment. But that's not the reason why I'm doing a video today. So as you've probably noticed, it is Pride Month. Basically the time when we're supposed a lot of people is to celebrate those who are basically to celebrate folks who do not fall under the straight/cis umbrella, or if you do, essentially you be an ally. So we'll go with that. But basically this is the month where everybody under the umbrella, and I really do wish I could just go ahead and just say the queer umbrella. However, a lot of people have issues with that term. I understand why. However, because you have people from different age ranges who are like, you know, there's no problem with using the term queer to describe yourself, especially with all of the different sexualities and orientations that are out there. So, oh boy, let me see if I can try and get this done as quick as possible. Um, and yeah, I'm probably just gonna. Here's the thing: I'm not going to be. I'm probably just gonna do it live right now because I kind of need to get this out of the way. So let's get started. All right. So one of the issues that I have, um, not me personally, not too big of an issue. One of those issues is being ace during Pride Month, but also during the entire rest of the year. Why do I have any issues with this? Well, okay, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. But also because I am, as you can see from skin tone and everything, my butt is black. So let's get started. I've never had too much issues when I've let people know that, hey, I'm asexual. Um, if you don't know what that means, basically, like there's so many definitions for it, but the main thing is basically you don't have that much of a sex drive, like just different things. Like you might not have a sex drive, you might have a little bit of a sex drive, or you are repulsed by sexually, you're repulsed. That's just to me. That's just a smidge of what being ace means. Just a smidge. Like for me, just for me, it's like in most cases, I don't have a problem with talking about sex. But that's more so like education wise, that type of stuff, like trying to teach folks, hey, if you're gonna do this, then at least, a couple of things like, communicate, consent. Oh my God, please consent, damn it. Um, Also, hey, just some pointers. If you don't know something, I will like me. I don't know about everybody else. From me, I'll at least send you to someone who's probably gonna know more than myself, who's probably an expert on it. I'm gonna send you to I'm gonna send you to some helpful websites. Um, so yeah, that's just me. But otherwise, uh, the thought the thought of myself having sex, or even just it's like ugh, ugh, yeah, no. But also, unfortunately, the hypersexualization that a lot of people have, I oh my God, I don't understand it. It's like I really don't understand it. Also, I'm kind of like, that's kind of a personal thing. You really should not have to be talking about that. with everybody in the world. But once again, that's just me personally. So there are, and what I'm about to say, it is a combination. It is both my identity as an asexual and also as a Black woman. Uh, so let's get this. I think one of the reasons I had this issue comes from it comes from this this public figure that I follow on Instagram. I apologize if I really do apologize if I mispronounce their name. Um, they are the Yasmin Annette. Well, but not. I'm sorry. I apologize for not saying it right. They are a public figure. Um, they're a British model and an asexual activist. They have appeared in and most of this, like I said, British model. They have appeared in British Vogue, Paper, and Cosmopolitan. So, um, I happened to get on Instagram while I was out today, and one of their recent photos, um, one of the recent photos, circulated, and then eventually, it, also on Twitter. Oh boy. Some of the comments, not all of them, but some of the comments just, some of the comments just made me just stare at people going, it just makes me look at you. Really, I'm just looking at them like, why are you like this? Honestly, you really cannot be, you just like, don't say nothing. The photo in question, um, basically a lot of folks just, um, yeah, they were basically saying like the photo that she took was sexual in its theme and manner. So like, and I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna say names. I'm not. It's like I know, I can see, I can see the, I can see the accounts and everything. I won't say who it is because one, no, I'm like, don't go and hate on them. But so one of the comments was, woman said, asexuals will ignore this, right? Because sex sells, so this message won't sell. Yasmin said, you must be new here. Then this person said, so you present as sexual to those that feel sexual towards females, but don't feel sexuality about yourself or towards others. Ugh. Just, um, just, there's just, there's so, just so many, just so many ace-phobic folks in those comments. And she's not the only person that I've seen this happen to. Just, I've seen this happen with other ace people, those who are more, have more followers and whatnot. Okay, so, and here's the sad thing: all the ace phobic folks that I tend to see, you want to know. Basically, if anything, majority of them are white. Majority of them are white, and I'm like, I really do have an issue with that, because I don't want to go into too much detail, but with how I feel about certain topics, I'm kind of like some things like y'all, white people, like not all of y'all. Once again, not all of y'all. But some of y'all just don't need to say anything, quite honestly, because it's like you're really showing yourselves. You're showing your true colors when y'all say certain things. Now, this is also going into being Black. Here's the sad thing. It's not gonna. I know for a lot of people, it's not gonna be noticeable, but good grief, I have seen some racism in the queer, gay, the LGBTQ plus community. And it's not, I don't, it's like, it's why? Just why? Why do we see racism in this community, who is still trying to, like, dude, queer people, like, we're still trying to be essentially like, dang it, I will say, like, dang, can we just be treated like we're humans? Can we be treated with respect? Seriously, can we be treated like human beings who deserve decency, who deserve human rights as well? It's like, I know a lot of folks be like, but especially in the US, it's like, but y'all are able, like, y'all able to get married and everything. Y'all don't realize how long it took for that to happen. That's one thing. And then you also, you unfortunately got some states who are trying to get rid of, folks who are not cisgender, basically trying to get rid of that. Let's not even go into all of this mess that is going on with all these different bills trying to pass pertaining to trans people. Like, let's not go into that. I'm not going into that right now because, one, I'm not trans, so I honestly do feel like I can't talk about it into too much detail. Well, into enough of a detail. That's just me. So now, as far as some folks might asking, well, what does being Black have to or person of color? What's that have to do with being ace? Let me explain something to you. This is, and also, trust me, folks. We do get discriminated against. Now, let me explain something. And I'm going to use myself as these examples. Because I'm Black, unfortunately, folks already have this concept of what I'm supposed to be. Now, if you look at me, let me show you something quick. Now, so you see all this. See all of this. I'm not skinny. I'm not skinny. I am a big girl. And trust me, it's not because I ate too much or anything. But once again, that's something else I'm going to go on. Different video, probably later during the summertime. But anywho, so one concept that a lot of people have about Black people. Bleh. One thing a lot of people, like a lot of folks, assume about almost every Black person is, and not just in North America, but also around the world, especially one a certain continent that I want to visit. They assume that we all listen to rap music or R&B. Okay, I mean, it's like, yeah, I do, but like some of the stuff they have nowadays, just no, just not for me, fam. The music that I'm used to and I like, that stuff came from, let's see, decades. Is basically I will listen to stuff from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, I might listen to a few black folks that did some stuff um, in the in 2000s. Okay, now there's a reason why I'm getting to this. Um, so how is this discrimination? All right, so this was mostly at work where I used to work at, where basically almost everybody was black. What they like, and I mostly it was teenagers, so I basically had to hear, um, I basically had to hear just rap music, but it's most of so it's like it to me. I'm like I couldn't feel anything because you're talking about you really are talking about using drugs, alcohol, sex, anything pertaining to gang violence. Like, bruh, I don't want to hear it. So that's what some of the stuff I had to listen to. Because anytime I tried to listen to something that I liked, because usually, like basically around that time, some of the stuff that I have in my playlist is it's like electric swing, techno, um, heavy metal. Let's see, even yes, it's gonna show I'm a weeb, but I even also have I had some anime music. I had some anime music in there. Just hey, I like it, but I also have music from like other parts of the world. But anywhoosies, so uh, I will say some of the things that showed up in these kids' playlist is stuff that I heard like from the '90s, like '90s R&B singers. um, well, even like some stuff from the '80s, or really some stuff that like my parents listened to. Like Marvin Gaye, like Marvin Gaye, Earth, Wind and Fire, that type of stuff. Now, what got me were stuff that because some of the stuff that back in the '90s they were I didn't realize it at that time when because I was small smaller Walida. um Smaller Walida did not understand the topic of some of these songs, but when she got older she was like, oh, that was what that song was talking about. um so it so basically what what some of these folks, what these teens would listen to, they would say stuff like, y'all don't know nothing about this. And I would look at them and I'm like, essentially am I a bloody joke to you? It's like, fam, I heard like the stuff y'all listening to now, which you think is new. Fam, I heard this stuff when I was like in elementary, like elementary and middle school. So yeah. So unfortunately, this got to the point where a lot of them were like, didn't you? Ugh. They basically asked the stuff like, so you saying you've done the naughty to these songs? I'm like, no, because I've never had sex. So so unfortunately, basically, and here's the thing, most of the time they didn't say nothing to me or in my face, but at the same time I can hear it where they were like up there saying I was a virgin and all this other mess because I didn't have sex, but also they bugged me about other stuff like because I don't do drugs and I don't drink and all that mess. But anywho, that made me it's one of the things that's for more than 3 years folks always are like, and not just them, but unfortunately some folks online who were like, well, if you're you're black, so doesn't it mean you listen to this stuff? Like, so does that mean you also partake in? Like, no, no, no. Let me give some examples. So let's see here. This is just for not. This is just '90s R&B, rhythm and blues artists. Some of the ones that I grew up on was like stuff like Boys to Men, TLC, Mariah Carey, Aaliyah, um, Genuine, Michael Jackson, uh, Blackstreet, Info, Drew Hill, Mary J. Blige, Janet Jackson, Tony Braxton. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say his name. Uh, Usher, Babyface, Sean Combs, Whitney Houston, Laura Hill, Alicia Keys, JC, old. I'm not gonna say it, even though ODB. I will, if you want me to, I'll type it out as to what that is. Tupac, just yeah, Jennifer Lopez, like different artists like that. And if you know, like if y'all have heard some of their music, you would understand, like, oh, okay, we understand like the topic that some of them, that a lot of them sang about. Here's the thing. I grew up with that, but here's the thing, I wasn't of it. To me, it was like, dude, it's like the rhyming was great, like, the rhyming, the lyrics, like the subject of the lyrics were, of course, like naughty stuff. Some of it, not all their songs were about sex and everything. So let's get that all out the way. So, like, hey, I did say Michael Jackson. Who doesn't like, who doesn't like a little bit of Thriller and Billy, stuff like Thriller, Billie Jean, like I like that, but I didn't practice what was in their songs. Just like how one of the artists that I grew up with, yeah, we don't want to discuss, we don't want to discuss what he did with a young girl. We're not going to discuss that because, yeah, just we're not going to discuss that. So just because, not just me, but other people of color, because just because we listen to stuff like that has lyrics pertaining about love, romance, the naughty stuff, just because we can listen to it, some people might not be able to because it just doesn't, they don't vibe with it. Like sometimes I don't vibe with it, but once again, because some people might not vibe with it, or it's like they like the tone, like they like the rhythm of it. Okay, cool. But that doesn't mean we're just, basically taking, we're not going to do what essentially is in that music, if that makes sense. So that's with the music part. Now, unfortunately, another issue that arrives um, with people of color, unfortunately, is the concept that we we act a certain way. Um, it's in most cases it is stereotypes. Like one stereotype that I've heard, or unfortunately have been discriminated on as I grew up, was, well, when with black people, one of those uh stereotypes was, it's talking about how basically both the women and the man were, sexual deviants. But see, here's the thing, that's nothing new. Like that's been something that, yeah. uh i don't I don't know when that started. um I think it's, I'm trying to think, it, like, the concept came about, I know probably like after the 1900s, like during really before segregation. Um, I could say probably for some folks they would say uh, some videos. Some people will probably say like like the birth of a nation. Yeah, I don't particularly like. Oh, here's the sad thing because I've actually seen that video. Well, not so much. It's not a video, but I have seen it, and it's just something else. So, but anywho, I'm not making this quick, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Um, just my mind is all over the place. So let me try to tone it down somehow. Okay, so folks, especially you AIDS phobic people, y'all need to knock that shit off. Especially especially when I find out it is people who are LGBT plus. Y'all need to knock that crap off. Y'all really do. Because first off, hey, asexuals, we're valid. Yeah, so I don't know what else to tell you. You know, we don't want to have sex, period. You got some who they don't mind having sex. Just dang, not all the time, or if they feel like it, which technically speaking, in most cases, that would also make them like Demi, but I'm not gonna go into that right now. Um, but yeah, cause see, unfortunately, like I know one argument I've heard is folks saying like you can't be ace because you probably straight. And see, here's my thing. See, my thing is for me, I'm like, fam. What makes you think I am straight? It's like seriously, what makes you think I'm straight? Because I'm not. I can tell. Like I can tell you that for sure. Um, because currently I am in a basically because I am essentially in a I am in a bit of I am in a platonic relationship with someone who is also, who is not straight. So that's all I'm going to tell you on that part. Even though I love them so, it's like I do love them, so I care about them so much. And oh, I am so happy they got my gift. Like I was really concerned that they didn't get it, but I'm gushing right now, so I'm sorry. But yeah. So ace phobics, y'all need to knock that shit off, especially if it's white people, and y'all be saying that to black folks. Look, not just black. Well, you're saying it to black folks. Y'all saying it to Asians and Latinos, Hispanics. Dude, y'all need to knock that shit off. And especially like folks in the LGBTQ community and the queer community. Dude, once again, asexuals and aromantics too, we're valid. So please, like we're in like guys, we're in the same boat as you. We just want to be respected. We want to be treated like we're human beings. We want to be treated with decency. Because honestly, who doesn't want that? And then when it comes to the racism, y'all also need to knock that off. Because really, at the end of the day, we're all people. We all have, you know, we all got the same thing on the inside. We're all skin and bones. Just really, really, it's more than that. It's like basically we're just made up of so many elements. It's like basically we're piloting a skeleton that is wrapped up in a meat suit, quite honestly. It's like, that's disgusting. You know, well, not so much as disgusting. It's more like it's morbid, but that's just me. So really, folks, we're all the same. We're made the same. We all came out the same way. Like, should that not count for something? And eventually, we're all gonna go out. Like, we're all gonna expire. Some sooner than others, but still, you know, came from our mothers. We go through life, and then we drop dead, probably to return to the ground, or you know, return to the ground, or for some of us, be buried out at sea, or you know, go for a Viking funeral with being cremated and such. Although, granted, me, I'm like, if you want to go, you want to be buried, I'd rather use your own body as fertilizer. But that's just me. So I try my best to make this short. And once again, just like the rest of my videos, I don't edit this stuff. Usually because I don't have the time, but I also don't have the software. Now, if I manage to, get donations and such, I might save up enough to do editing or even get a better setup. But we'll see. We will see about that. Because honestly, because I'm not working at the moment, I actually got time to, if I want to, I can actually start streaming. I might start streaming again. I probably will make, more videos, just a little bit of tidbits. I might even have special guests, maybe, but until then, my name is Walida. You can catch me sometimes on this channel on YouTube, or you can probably catch me on Twitch under Our Queens 1. So with that, I bid you adieu. Bye.